Oh, hey guys, hey. Ducks Hockey and More here. Hey, I'm talking about the Anaheim Ducks Player Spotlight Series. We're going to be talking about ISAC LUNDESTROM today, so stick around. All right, so hey, like I said, this is one of my series that I like to call it's the Anaheim Ducks Player Spotlight, and I will touch on other NHL players from other teams, but primarily Ducks. And I've already talked about 4 different players, so this will be the 5th in the series. And today I wanted to talk about ISAC LUNDESTROM. ISAC LUNDESTROM, one of my favorite players on the Anaheim Ducks. He's a really good player. Let me just get into some just general stuff with ISAC, just to give you a background on him. He was born November 6th of 1999. Man, it makes me feel old hearing that. He was born in Sweden. He's a Swede. He plays the center position. He's a 6-foot center, 193 pounds, 23 years old. He was drafted by the Anaheim Ducks in the 2018 draft. He was first round pick, 23rd overall. Currently, he carries a $1.8 million cap hit, and he will be a restricted free agent after next season. So after the 23-24 season, he'll be an RFA, and we'll decide, hopefully, to keep him around because I like him a lot. Here's a quick career stats for you, and then we'll get into just him as a player, okay? But his career point totals and everything, he's got 183 games played now. 23 goals, 30 assists. Not a lot. 53 points in those 183 games. And he's a minus 17 overall in his career. In the last season, okay, the 2021-22 season, he had his breakout season. He really broke out and showed people what he's capable of, right? That was his breakout year. He had 80 games played, so he almost played a full 82 games. That season, he had 16 goals, 13 assists for 29 points, and he was only a minus 3 last year. Okay, so a huge breakout year for ISAC. I really enjoyed watching him mature and play especially last year. This year, it's been a little bit different because he's had a lot of injuries that have sidelined him, and he hasn't been consistently going. And plus, you got to remember, this team this year is just horrid, horribly coached. And just the chemistry just really isn't there this year. So things are going to get changed up quite a bit. So this year his numbers aren't quite as good, mostly because of those injuries he's had. But this current year he's got 32 games played. He's got 1 goal, 8 assists for 9 points, but he's only a minus 2. So keep in mind, remember I told you last season he was a minus 3 for the year. This season so far he's a minus 2. That's good, folks. Remember, the Ducks are a bad team. I mean, they're seriously like minus 80 something. I mean, their goals against to goals for. I mean, they're in the negative, like negative 80. They're the worst team in the NHL when it comes to goals for and goals against, right? So to be only a minus 2 this year so far, and granted it's only 32 games, but that's good. It tells you how solid he is of a two-way player. I love ISAC LUNDESTROM. He reminds me, for Ducks fans that know, he reminds me of Samuel Paulson. Sammy Paulson, also a Swede, and the Swedes are known to produce good two-way centers. Players that are really responsible with the puck and can play good defense as well as good offense, but very good defensive, offensive players, if that makes sense. So your forwards, you want, especially on the first couple lines, not so much, but your third and fourth lines, maybe you can throw second line, but your third and fourth line specifically, they're out there defending that lead. They're out there. Those centers are typically a big part of the penalty kill and that kind of thing. So you want those guys to be really good on the face-off circle. Okay, ISAC is good, and he's just going to get better. He's young, so he's going to get better. But you got to have those guys that can shut down the other team's top players and be a part of the penalty kill to shut down the other team's power play, right? So, and that's what an ISAC LUNDESTROM brings to this team. And he's only 23, so I feel like he is getting into his prime, okay, right now. He's getting there. It's here. It's coming, okay? And so for me, this is a player I want to see stick around long term because I feel like he's just going to get better and better and better. I really do. And his two-way play is unbelievable. So that right there, to me, he's a keeper. Solid depth center. He's great in the face-offs. I mean, he still has room for improvement, of course, but he's good in the face-offs. Great two-way game. We talked about that. Real responsible with the puck. And he's got good hands, guys. There are times, especially last year, where Isaac Lundestrom, some of the passing that I saw from him, some of the stick moves and some dangling a little bit, he doesn't do it a lot because he's a responsible player. He doesn't take the risks that a Zegras takes, okay, that a Troy Terry will take. But there are times where he has shown that he can do more than you would expect, right? So, I mean, he's a really good, he's better than you think when it comes to his hands and his offensive skills. But he has great hands. And I talked about it. He is a great penalty killer because of his two-way game. Look, Isaac Lundestrom, great player, young, entering his prime. This is a keeper. We've got him for one more year. Verbeek signed him at the end of last year for 2 years, okay? I think he carries, what I talked, $1.8 million, okay, a year. So, he's not a huge cap hit. He's a huge depth center, two-way player. Like I said, that's important on any team. For those of you who remember that 06-07 Stanley Cup team that the Ducks had, Samuel Paulson was part of that shutdown line. The Moen, Samuel Paulson, Rob Niedermeyer line. That line was unreal. They were a huge, huge part of why we made the run we did and won the Stanley Cup. Isaac Lundestrom reminds me a lot of Sammy Paulson. So to me, that's somebody you want on your team. You want to, and being that he's young and he's entering his prime here, to me, this year's hard because he had some injuries, so his numbers aren't that great, and the team's not that great either. But I think if next year maybe he can make another improvement and show what he did last year, it's a no-brainer. Pat Verbeek would keep him around. No-brainer, in my opinion. So we'll see what happens. But hey, that's it. That's all I got on Isaac Lundestrom. I wanted to talk about him in my Ducks Player Spotlight series. So definitely go check out it'll probably be over here. Go check out that playlist for my Player Spotlight if you want to watch some of the other players I've already talked about. So check that out. And as always, thanks for watching. Don't forget to smash the like button. Okay, let's just like the crap out of this video. Let's just smash that button. I mean, do it more than once. Go on, do it. But hit the subscribe button if you haven't subscribed already, because we want to blow this channel up. Okay? Hey, once again, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.